Welcome to NewsMakers. On this edition of NewsMakers, we're at Courthouse Plaza, where the Arlington County Board is considering County Manager Ron Carley's $924 million fiscal year 2009 proposed budget. We'll learn more about the budget process and what factors are presented and considered prior to the budget's adoption by the County Board. We'll also tell you about a free tax preparation program that is made possible by a partnership between Arlington County's Culpeper Garden Senior Center and the AARP. But first, we hear from County Manager Ron Carley, who recently announced his proposed budget.
The county's annual operating budget is really our operating plan. It's the way we decide actually what the county will do, what services we'll provide, and how much of the services. Ultimately, the way you get them is to pay for them, and what the budget does is put dollar and cents with our programs and our policies and our priorities.
The budget is really the living, breathing reflection of the values of this community. That said, it's not a totally open-ended opportunity. One of the values of the community is that we have a high level of services. We want to maintain them. We want to fulfill that commitment to provide those services in the community. And on the other hand, we have a limited budget. The revenue comes from the people who live here and work here, and it has to be sustainable, so that we have to look long-term to maintain those services over the long haul.
We want to have a budget that over time is consistent and stable and, most importantly, sustainable. As we move through the budget process, I also have a twin objective now, which is really efficiency. A detailed review is made of literally everything that we do, every department, every expense. I do consult with the chairs of the county board's commissions, but the public process really begins once the county manager, once I put forward a recommendation. That begins to frame the discussion, and the discussion with the public is really the responsibility of the county board. For them to hear from the people who elect them what their concerns and desires are in the context of what I have put forward as what we can afford to do.
Well, we have work sessions. We had a budget work session this morning. We have another one this afternoon. Next week, we hear from the community in a budget work session and then a tax rate work session. So we're looking at every department.
The Commission on Aging would like to express its concerns regarding the reductions in the FY09 budget for DHS.
I also want to put in a good word for the Arlington Police, Fire, and Sheriff's Department tonight and ask you to hear their concerns.
Arlington County is evaluating implementation of a stormwater management district. I am here to express my opposition to this plan.
Well, public feedback in Arlington is always really important, and public feedback happens in a couple of different ways. The county board has a board or commission or task force on just about everything that we do. And then, of course, just individuals, people who care about different things, be it tax rates or library hours or public safety or human services, whatever. And they come forward and they write and they call, and of course they attend the public hearing, and that helps the county board know what the relative priorities are in the community.
Inroads is a housing first model program that focuses on housing persons who are chronically homeless in Arlington. I'm here to advocate that the AHIF funding request for $50,000 to support the Director of Housing position at ASPAN be approved by the board.
I'm here to speak in strong support of the request by the Arlington Commission for the Arts for the exceedingly modest sum of $35,000 for an arts marketing initiative directed to county residents and metro area audiences.
The county's manager proposes continuing the successful public-private partnership in FY09, and MVCT is pleased to rise here and request that the board support the manager's budget.
You know, I also make the analogy or the metaphor to a bicycle. You have a wheel with all the spokes and a wheel. So one year you may be you need to put more attention into education, or more attention into technology, or more attention into parks and rec. And what makes our community work is that everything is integrated. It is a whole. So each year we take special notice of what areas we're weak in or where we're lagging in relation to other communities or to our own needs.
Since you have said that there would be no market pay adjustment for us due to demands from health care and retirement, I hope that you will listen to our requests for just compensation for all Arlington employees. Thank you.
Thank you.
and then in the end, in April, they'll make their decisions. They'll make some readjustments, inevitably. They always do. That's why the public process happens. That's why it's important. So they can make changes and make good changes, and then they actually vote to adopt the budget. Then it's back in my lap, and it's my responsibility to then implement the budget that they've passed and make sure that people actually receive the services they expect to receive.